Once upon a time, in a quiet town surrounded by soft green hills and whispering winds, there lived a young painter who dreamed of becoming the greatest artist in the world. His dark, restless eyes glowed with a strange fire, the fire of ambition, and his small, delicate hands were always stained with the colors of his dreams. From morning until midnight, he painted endlessly. His tiny studio, a crooked room with cracked walls and a single dusty window, was filled with unfinished canvases, the scent of turpentine, and the ghosts of his unspoken thoughts. People in the town often spoke of his gift. That boy, they would say, was born to paint. Children would peek through his window to watch him work, amazed by the worlds he created with just a brush and a vision. But though others saw greatness, his heart was never at peace. Every sunrise found him already at his easel, his face pale under the dim light of a flickering lamp. He ignored the chirping of birds, the laughter of neighbors, and even the knocking of his friends who invited him to join them outside. His mother, an old woman with tired eyes and hands wrinkled from years of care, often stood silently at his door. Sometimes she brought him food, though it always went cold. "My son," she would whisper gently, "rest for a while. You are forgetting the world outside these walls." But the young painter would only shake his head and reply, "Mother, I must paint until I become the best. Nothing else matters. I can rest once I am perfect, days turned into months, and months into years." His obsession grew like a creeping vine twisting around his soul. His friends found success, married, and built new lives. But he stayed in that same room, chasing a perfection that never came. He would stare at his canvases for hours, seeing flaws invisible to anyone else. When his frustration became too much, he would tear them apart and begin again, over and over. The laughter that once filled his home vanished, replaced by the scratching of brushes and the silence of loneliness. One cold evening, news spread that a great art master was visiting the town to view local works. The townsfolk persuaded the young painter to show his collection. Nervous yet hopeful, he arranged his best paintings in the hall. When the master arrived, his sharp eyes scanned each canvas carefully. The painter held his breath, waiting for praise. But instead, the old master said softly, "Your paintings show great skill, but they have no soul. You paint not to express life, but to prove yourself." Those words struck him like a blade. That night, he locked himself inside his studio again, trembling with anger and despair. He painted until his hands bled, desperate to capture something real, something that could silence the doubt echoing in his heart. Days passed without food or sleep. The world outside faded completely. Then one night, as the moonlight spilled through the window, he caught sight of his reflection in the mirror. He barely recognized the man staring back. His eyes were hollow, his cheeks pale, and his hands trembled. His spirit felt as though it had withered away, leaving only exhaustion. A single tear slipped down his face and fell onto the palette below, mixing with the paint like a silent confession. At that moment, his mother entered quietly carrying a small lamp. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "My son, you have spent your whole life chasing perfection, but art is not born from obsession. It is born from love. Look outside your window. The world you abandoned still waits for you." For the first time, he listened. He opened the window and felt a soft breeze brush against his face. Outside, the dawn was breaking. The hills shimmered with gold. Children ran through the streets laughing, and the sky was painted in colors no artist could ever truly capture. It was simple, yet alive, more beautiful than any masterpiece he had ever created. Something inside him shifted. He stepped outside for the first time in years, feeling the warmth of sunlight on his skin. Birds sang, and the earth smelled of life. That day, he picked up his brush again, but this time not to prove anything. He painted what he saw, what he felt, what he loved. His strokes became softer, his colors warmer, and slowly his art began to breathe again. Years later, people came from far and wide to see his paintings. They admired not their perfection, but their soul, the way they seemed to capture the quiet beauty of ordinary life, the love between a mother and son, the peace found in nature's embrace. The young man had finally become what he always dreamed of, not the greatest artist, but a true one. He had learned through pain and loss that obsession destroys what love creates. No dream is worth losing yourself for. Perfection without peace is only emptiness wearing a mask. In the end, he realized that balance is the true art of life, because when passion turns to obsession, even beauty becomes a cage.